Wow, what a game we just watched, ladies and gentlemen. That right there is something that we failed to see all season, but despite maybe the Patriots game. That right there was a complete football game all around. We're gonna talk about it. First, gotta give major props to Derek Carr. He played an amazing game despite missing his top receiver. He spread the ball around well. Nobody on offense, stood out in particular in terms of receiving. Uh, and so he spread the ball around. He wasn't too predictable. And he did a really, really good job just being diverse in the offense. So good to him. Good for him. I think he had like 22 for 28 or 23 for 28 with like 220 yards and 3 touchdowns, and man, he played incredible. Now, I want to try and see that more often. This is something that we've been looking for weeks, and I hope this is the start of something good. He's shown flashes that he can be good. It's just there's some basic things that he just hasn't put together, like picking up blitzes, IDing the right mic, um, reading defenses, especially in the red zone. But man, this week he did incredible. So props to him. Um, Props to Alvin Kamara, despite not playing the first drive, which is something I really, really despised, I guess. He put together an all around great game with 16 carries, 66 yards, averaging 4.1 yards per carry, five receptions for 44 yards. So 110 yards on the day total. Did amazing. Kamara really controlled the pace of this game. Um, Shout out to Juwan Johnson for finally getting his, I guess, big game. Considering what we've seen from him this season. Welcome back, Rashid Shaheed. Did pretty well when needed. Caught a couple of slants and short routes that were taken for a decent gain. A.T. Perry did good on third and long. Lynn Bowden did good in some situations. Jimmy Graham getting his third touchdown and his third game in a row. Keith Kirkwood with the touchdown. The red zone woes seem to be a little bit better this week. You know, and the red zone woes have been a little bit better throughout the past few weeks. We've seen us against the Lions. We went 4 for 4 in the red zone. Us against the Panthers. We did pretty good in the red zone. Or decent in the red zone at least. Way better than where we were standing weeks previous. And then this week we did insanely good in the red zone. Efficiency on all fronts of the game was amazing. We converted on third down 6 out of 12 times. Um, we just really pushed the pace of this game on offense. And that's what we needed. We needed to figure out how to push the pace well without our top two receivers. Top receiver, if you want to just count Chris Olave, because he's really the top receiver right now, and Mike Thomas has already been out for a few weeks. Um, Against a really solid defensive front for the Giants. Kayvon Thibodeau, Dexter Lawrence, among other names. Um, he's was pretty solid, despite getting pressure. It seemed like his pocket awareness was a bit better as well. Um, And also without Ryan Ramczyk, um, that right side was pretty questionable with I believe um Landon Young starting at right tackle, almost like Max Garcia. But Landon Young starting at right tackle. Um Things went well. Only gave up one sack. And we know he was hitting his throws downfield. Not really throwing too many inaccurate balls. He did really well. Now onto the defense. I gotta give the defense all the props in the world because man, they played lights out. Check this out. I'm gonna read off a list of stats. Starting with Demario Davis, 10 total tackles, one sack, two tackles for loss, and the QB hit. Um, you know what? We're not gonna do Tomo's yet because Tomo had the best game. Brian Brzee, two sacks, two tackles for loss, three total tackles. Carl Granderson, three tackles, one sack, one tackle for loss. Um, Alontae Taylor, six tackles, one boom hit that the ref shouldn't have called. That was not unnecessary roughness by any means. You could tell me it was. If you do tell me it is, you're probably a Falcons fan. But all in all, pretty solid. Also, Tano Passanio, six total tackles, three sacks, and three tackles for loss, along with four QB hits. Tano Passanio played an amazing game on the left side of the defensive line against the left tackle for the Giants, who I may um that may be Andrew Thomas, if I'm correct. Um, but he played a really solid game, and that dude has really shown out as being heavily underrated. Um, I mean, wow, he is one hell of a pass rusher. Another shout out to a guy who did pretty well, but it didn't show up on the stat sheet. Zach Bond as a pass rusher on 3rd and 10 situations has certainly been effective over the past few weeks. And I think we've finally seen him for what he truly is. And that's a pass rusher and not a coverage guy. So Zach Bond played an amazing game as well, along with Boston Debo. He was locked down. I don't think he let up a catch today. Yeah, man, that was a complete game, all sides. Offense did amazing. Defense did amazing. Special teams did amazing. Every inch of the game was determined by us, and that was great. That is exactly what I want to see for this final stretch. If we want to have any chance of making the playoffs, especially with momentum, considering we're going to be facing a really tough 5 seed if we win the division. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Appreciate y'all for watching. If you haven't already, hit that sub button. We're on the way to 100. And that's it. See y'all soon. Peace.